There's one last little interesting thing that I want to show you about our current build process and the container that we're running out of it. I'm going to start up my container very quickly with docker run. We'll do the port mapping again with 80808080, and I'll do Stephen Grider / simple web. Okay, so we're running on port 8080. Now I'm going to again visit the application inside the browser. I'll refresh the page. Yep, everything's working as we expect. Now let's try making a change to the source code of our index.js file. I'm going to open up the index.js file right here. This is the route handler right here that is executed anytime someone visits the root route on our running server. And so as you can see, we are sending back a string of simply hi there. Let's try making a change to the string and then refreshing the page and seeing what happens. So I'm going to change from hi there to bye there. I know I'm not very original. I'm going to save this file. It definitely saved. I'm going to go to File Save, 100% saved, no two ways about it. And then I'm going to go back over to the browser and I'll refresh the page. And when I do so, you'll notice that we still see hi there appear on the screen. So what's going on? Well, remember, anytime that we create our image or create the container, we're taking a snapshot of the file system. So we took a snapshot of index.js after it got copied over. And we are running our application based on that old version of index.js. When we modify the index.js file inside of our current working directory right here, that change is not going to be automatically reflected inside the container. If we want it to update the file inside the container, we're going to have to do some additional fancy configuration. We're not going to go through that configuration just yet. That's going to be something that we're going to address on the next application. But just so you're aware, yeah, changes we make here, not reflected inside the container. So what would we have to do to get our container to get this new file, or to get this new change right here? Well, we would have to completely rebuild the container. We would have to rerun the docker build command and attempt to build it again, which is going to copy over the newly changed files, then run npm install, and then start our server up. Let's go through that process right now because there's one more little thing that I want to show you along those lines. Okay, so I'm going to stop my running server, and then we'll do a docker build. We're going to tag it, and then I'll make sure that I do the dot to specify the build context. So I'm going to run that, and oh, this is kind of interesting. I want you to notice something here. During step 3, we are copying over all of our project files and folders, every last one of them. We just made a change to the index.js file, and Docker has detected that we changed one of the files that was copied over during that step. Because we made a change to this step right here, step number 3, and every step after it has to be executed again. In other words, when we rebuild our container, we have to reinstall all of our dependencies, even though we very clearly did not make a single change to any of the dependencies inside of our project. And so I'm going to argue that that's probably not ideal. If we don't make a change to a dependency inside of the project, we probably don't want to rerun npm install. All we did was change one of the source code files of our project. And again, that has nothing to do with our dependencies. So I think that would be really neat if we could figure out a way to make sure that just by changing one of our source code files, we do not have to rerun npm install and install all of our dependencies again. Because even though this is only taking a handful of seconds right now, well, it's only because we have one single dependency. If you're working on a real application or a real project, it might take several minutes to rerun the npm install command. And I would not want you to have to reinstall all those dependencies every time that you make a change to the source code of your project. So let's come back to the next section, and we're going to figure out a better way to handle copying over our project files and folders into the container. So quick break, and I'll see you in just a minute.